Made some money today? Alan, you know, if you're in the crypto space and you didn't make money in the last 48 hours, you're doing something wrong. All right? If you have not made money in the last 48 hours, you're doing something horribly wrong right now. You need to get with somebody to show you the right path. Good morning, everybody. What's going on, Jamal? This is it's like every day is a gift, right? Every time I do this, history's been made. Every single day. Ramon is shopping. Renee, aloha. You mean in Hawaii? I know you make money every day, Shauna. Every day you making money. But every day I start this crypto talk, it's been history in the making. I still think the one I did yesterday morning was the most important crypto talk I've ever done, because it affects all of us as Americans. Our national security, our way of life is going to fundamentally change. And most people have no freaking idea. Are you serious, Dan? You sold it right when it hit 1900? Yeah, so anything new and exciting happened over the last, I don't know, 6 hours? If that. See, I was afraid to go to sleep last night, because when I went to sleep, it had hit 15,000. And then when I went to sleep, what, 3:34 in the morning? I woke up at 7 something, and it was above 16,000. I get my kid ready for school, take him to school, and I come back. Coinbase is going crazy. They like freeze up on the computer. I look at my app. Coinbase crossed 19,000. A few seconds later, a whole bunch of sale happened. It dropped down to 17,000, then back to 16,000. It is like a freaking yo-yo right now. So this is an interesting time in the crypto space. This is history. There's going to be movies and documentaries written about this moment. I've been saying this since the beginning, that you guys, there's going to come a day when you guys say, I remember when Bitcoin was less than $10,000 a coin. And people are going to be like, whoa, the olden days when Bitcoin was $3,000 a coin. I remember those. Pop, did you buy Bitcoin when it was less than $10,000 a coin? Nah, you see, I was in a company called TLC, and my upline was somebody named Stormy Wellington, and she was the bomb. And, you know, I saw her do a video, said cash is king, and that, you know, Bitcoin was nothing. So I listened to her, and I didn't buy any Bitcoin when it was like at like $5,000. I listened to Stormy. I didn't buy no Bitcoin. Pop. What do you mean you listened to Stormy? Was she rich? Yeah, she was 7 figures. But she didn't believe in Bitcoin. But were you rich back then? No. But you listened to her? Yeah. Bitcoin's like $100,000 a coin today. But you listened to Stormy? Man. Watch who you're listening to. What's going on, D? What's going on, James? Ramon? Elaine? All right, let's get into some education now. As I speak, where is Bitcoin? Because I don't know. I go to different exchanges, and they're all wildly fluctuating. You can't listen to Coinbase right now. Coinbase always, whenever the market does something crazy, Coinbase doesn't act right. Either they're going to freeze it up, or it's going to be constant in load time is slow, so you can't react quick enough. Yeah, they're not showing the right numbers, so you can't rely on Coinbase right now if you want accurate numbers. So I'm looking at CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap has Bitcoin right now at 15,979. Let me look at the Crypto 30 chart. Crypto 30 index is showing it at 16,170. Oh, they're a little slower than Coin Market. Yeah, I know. Yeah, their trading view is frozen. I know GDAX is also flipping out. Say Coinigy. Yeah. Let me look up at Coinigy right now. What are you guys showing it as on your markets? So Coin Market Cap and Crypto 30 is showing right around 15,900, 16,000. Oh, dang, I got to do all this login stuff on Coinigy. Don't tell me I got to do third-party verification. It's going to take me too long. Yeah, I ain't going through all that. Hey, Ramon, what are you showing on Coinigy right now? But the price, though, 15,290. What is that what you found, Dan? This Coin Market Cap. Yeah. 15,900. It froze at 16,000. But somehow it got to 19,000. What's going on, Kirill? $19,000. Now, mark my words. There will be a correction. It's going to happen. It is inevitable. The only question is when and how deep will it fall. The higher this thing is rising, the higher it's rising, it's going to pull back hard. But because it's so high, I don't think it's going to go, even Ramon said that it's going to, the floor is going to be about 10,000. The floor. So if it corrects hard, it'll go to 10,000. But the monkey wrench is the CME and the CBOE. The CBOE comes live on the 10th and the CME on the 18th. And that's when the real money is going to flood into the system. So will it correct before that happens? And if it does, it's going to be a short correction. See, most times when it corrects, it may sit there for a couple of weeks. Like the last time when it went from, we called it the China dip. When it went from, it's the same time Jamie Dimon was running his mouth. And it was at $5,200. And it dipped all the way down to $2,900. And that's when Jamie Dimon bought the dip at $3,100 a coin. And it sat around $3,100 to $3,500 for like a week, 2 weeks. And then it went back up to $4,000. And it sat between $4,000 and $4,300 for like another 2 or 3 weeks. And then when it crossed 5,000 again, we all got excited. We acting like this is 2 years ago. We talking about like the last 45 days. The last 45 days. So it was at 5,000. Then all of a sudden it hit, when it hit 6,000, then it just exploded upward. 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 within a 24-hour period. It just kept going up, up, and up. And now it swung $6,000, $7,000 in less than 24 hours. And Ramon's right. If this does not correct before the CME, and I mean, there's a huge sell wall at the 19K and 20K mark. That's why the moment it hit 19K, it dropped all the way back down to 16K because it had the huge sell wall at 19K. Could I explain? The CME is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It's like the stock market stuff. It does futures trading. That's where the big boys are. That's where the billionaires are. They've got billions and billions of dollars. It's not just the CME. You've got the CME, the CBOE, NASDAQ, and the Man Group in the UK with hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars waiting to flood. They're going to push this market cap to $1 trillion. Right now it's at 410 billion. Do you realize just 60 days ago that was like 180 billion? Just 60 days ago. We're at 400 billion right now. And it's going to reach $1 trillion. You know what I'm more excited about? I'm not excited about Bitcoin rising. Bitcoin's always going to have about 50% market cap. That's not what's exciting me. When it gets to $1 trillion, yeah, Bitcoin's going to have $500 million of it. $500 billion of it, I mean. But the other half is going to the altcoins. So with the altcoins, you're going to see them. You look at the charts right now. The altcoins, you got Ethereum's at 41 billion. Bitcoin Cash, 22 billion. IOTA, 9 billion. IOTA came out of nowhere ever since Microsoft made that announcement a couple of days ago. Ripple, 8 billion. Dash, 5 billion. Litecoin, 5 billion. 60 days ago, these were half that. You want to make some serious money? It ain't trying to scrounge up your change and sell your car to get 1 Bitcoin. It's put 5K, 10K in something like Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum or IOTA or Dash or Monero or any of these other coins. That's going to double and triple in value as the market rises because you're going to be able to get far more coins. That's the whole thing. Stack your coins. Got to be smart here, guys. But if this does not correct, when the CME hits, and it's going to be the CBOE first on the 10th, then this sucker might go to 20K before Christmas. 20K. Unfreaking believable. We were hoping that it might have just went 10K by the end of the year. 20K? And if it goes 20K, then yeah, there's going to be a correction. We just don't know how. We're in uncharted territory. We don't have a precedent to follow because we've never had something like the CME, the NASDAQ, those guys on. Because what they're going to do is bring a little bit of stability to the market. You're not going to see wild swings. They're going to have their circuit breakers in place. It might only go 20% in any direction. So it's going to bring a little bit more stability. So it may not snap back, $7,000, $8,000 back. It may not. But even if it does, it's going to grow right back. The only way you lose, and I want to prepare you guys for this because the haters are going to be out there. The moment what they call a crash, or they'll call it a bubble pop, the haters are going to say, see, I told you so. I told you it was a bubble. The only way you lose is if you sell. That's the only way you lose. You never sell on the dip. You buy the dip. But if you, for whatever reason, did not sell on the high and it dips on you, hold your coin. Sit on it. Because it might be a couple of weeks, couple of months. That sucker's going to come right back up bigger than before. This ain't Forex. It's not the stock market where you lose when the sucker drops. So, let's get into a couple of articles here. Before I talk about Bank of America, let's talk about this one. It says 16,000 and climbing. Excuse me. 16,000 and climbing. Bitcoin price achieves new all-time high. Is there a limit? Let's put this in the chat box here. Is there a limit? Wait, what's this Russia article that came up? Oh, that's important. I might save that one for tonight. There's an internal war going on in Russia between legalizing Bitcoin or putting their focus on the ruble coin. I know who's going to win that debate. This is Russia we're talking about. All right, $16,000 and climbing. Bitcoin price achieves new all-time high. The global average of Bitcoin price across major markets, including the US, Japan, South Korea, and Europe, has surpassed $16,000, peaking at $16,422. This article came out today, yet it shot up $3,000 since this article came out, and then kind of dropped again. Within the past 24 hours, the price of Bitcoin has recorded an increase of nearly 30%. Outperforming all of the top 10 cryptocurrencies in the market, including Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. George Kikvadze, I'll just call him George, A highly regarded Bitcoin investor and vice chairman at leading Bitcoin mining firm Bitfury stated that the $10,000 mark was a psychological level for the majority of investors and traders in the Bitcoin market. Once the price of Bitcoin breached 10,000, it skyrocketed to 15,000 within a period of several days. And according to George, anything is possible beyond 10,000. I understand what he's saying there. You know, we put in our own minds at times our little barriers. You know, think about the breaking the 3-minute mile? For decades and hundreds of years, nobody could run a mile under, or was it the 5-minute mile? It was a 3-minute mile. George Banneker. Nobody could break the 3-minute mile. Then all of a sudden, when the first person did it, then a flood of people did it after that. Then everybody was breaking the record. Same thing in swimming. You know, records are meant to be broken, and we've got a psychological barrier on some things. And once somebody breaks through, everybody, oh, it's possible, let's go for it. So for all of us investors, 10,000 was like that magic number. Man, when will it reach 10,000? Man, it got to 8,000. Let me sell real quick. Let me sell because I want to make some money. But then once it crossed 10,000, always a new barrier is going to put in place. Now that new barrier is 20,000. Everybody's saying, will they hit 20,000 before Christmas? I don't know. The way it's rising. It hit 19,000 this morning. Today's only the 7th. Who knows how high this thing's going to go? So he says, what a momentum. Buying up more at $13,000. As I said, $10,000 psychological level was passed. Now anything is possible, said George. Over the next few weeks, especially through the launch dates of CBOE and CME's Bitcoin futures exchanges and the holidays, the price of Bitcoin will likely continue to surge. As the two largest options exchange in the global finance market, the entrance of CBOE and CME into the Bitcoin market is expected to result in the flow of tens of billions of dollars. You guys hear this? Tens of billions of dollars into Bitcoin in the short term. Peter Brandt, a prominent trader and author, emphasized that given that an interim target at $14,800 has already been met. See, when Bitcoin hit 10,000, people were saying that, yeah, it's going to hit at least 14,800 by the end of the year. Well, they didn't know 2 days later that mark's going to be passed. So since it's already been met, they're saying the price of Bitcoin will likely surge to 18,800 in the near future. Well, guess what, guy? This article came out today. It passed 18,800 today. So they need to come up with a new number. That new number, what's that going to be? What's happening, Jeremy? What's that new number going to be? Earlier this week, Brand said that the price of Bitcoin is expected to surpass $18,000 in 2018. Hey, how about say it's going to pass 18,000 in 2017? In response, several investors and experts, including John McAfee, noted that the 18,000 mark will likely be surpassed by the year's end. Yeah, it happened today. Kiana says 25K. Jeremy says 21K by the end of the year. Hey, they need to have this like a bet up on Vegas. Hey, what do you think the Bitcoin is going to be by the end of the year? That's what the futures are. You kind of invest on what you think the future is going to be. Who's going to come up with the right number? End of the year mark. We've got 25K. We've got 21K. We've got 22K. What, is it going to hit 30K? Remember, today's only the 7th, and it already hit 19K. And the CME and the CBOE is not even on board yet, and those tens of billions have not hit the market yet. So, do you guys think you might be aiming a little too low on this? I don't know. Bitcoin pool, that's right, let's see. With CBOE's Bitcoin Futures Exchange launched merely 2 days ahead, the demand for Bitcoin from the traditional finance market and institutional investors is skyrocketing. See, one thing that normally happens in the past when Bitcoin was rising, people were selling their altcoins and putting into Bitcoin. In this case, even though that might be happening, you're having a flood of new money coming into the system because the altcoins have also doubled. So this is new money coming into the system, not moving around money already in the system. We added $200 billion onto the marketplace in a week. Rosendo says 50K. So now we're talking. A few months ago, the interim target of $10,000 by year's end by distinguished financial analyst and RT host Max Kaiser seemed ambitious and unrealistic. However, the $10,000 milestone has already left the minds of most traders, and investors expect the price of Bitcoin to break through 18,000 relatively soon. Yeah, 10,000 is now the new floor. It's the floor. I don't see it ever going below $10,000 unless something crazy happens. And, you know, I can never say never, because one of the major exchanges could get hacked and cause a huge decline. It could happen. But all things normal, I don't see it ever going below 10,000. So I'll pull out my old video of just a month ago where I said everybody's going to say, I remember when Bitcoin was less than $10,000. And the question would be, did you get any back then? Let's talk about Bank of America. And then we'll end because I got some more crypto to make. Bank of America. Let me put this link in the chat box. You know, I got to say this real quick while I'm doing this. All them MLM haters, this is a time where you want to shut up. You don't want to say nothing about crypto. It is best you completely keep crypto out of your mouth, because anything you say, you are going to look so ignorant, so foolish, especially if you're doing it online, because social media records everything. And you don't want to be that cat. 1 year from now, it pops up on social media that you was running your mouth because you was a big dog in TLC, leveraging other people while we're leveraging our money. There's a difference when you wake up and say, I made money while I was asleep because somebody on my team went to work for me. And I wake up and say, I made money while I was sleeping because my money made money for me. There's a huge difference. You don't want to be that cat to go down in history as sounding the alarms, calling everything in crypto a scam, when this thing is exploding all around you. You're on an island all by yourself with that one. What's this? A new article just popped up. Wall Street banks revolt against Bitcoin futures contracts launch? Okay. I will read that one after this one. This is breaking news. They're fighting back. They're fighting back, everybody. They're not going to take this lying down. So we're going to read that one after the Bank of America piece. Did it come through? My internet had dropped on me on my computers. I'll put it in here again. All right. So you can read along with me or just listen. Bank of America wins patent for crypto exchange system. These are a bunch of freaking hypocrites. While they run their mouths talking about Bitcoin is a fraud, a scam, a bubble, a Ponzi scheme, you're stupid for buying it, cash is king, and all that other crap, in the background, they're co-opting the system. They're buying up everything in crypto. Bunch of hypocrites. Bank of America may be looking into cryptocurrency exchange services for its corporate clients, or at least keeping its options open should they become interested. That's smart business. I ain't mad at Bank of America. They already had 22 patents. I ain't mad at them. They don't like it, but they're like, hey, if we can't stop it, we might as well try to co-opt it. We might as well get ourselves in the game just in case, be positioned. In a patent awarded by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on Tuesday, the second largest bank in the U.S., outlined a potential cryptocurrency exchange system. What? Pay attention to this, Jeremy. It'll be your competitors. That would convert one digital currency into another. This is huge news, guys. This is huge. Further, this system would be automated, establishing the exchange rate between the two currencies based on external data feeds. However, I ain't going to use it. And I'm going to tell you why. Before I even finish reading this article, Bank of America comes out with this. Only way I use this is if I am transferring my money back into US dollars into my bank account. Otherwise, the moment you go through the banks and you're transferring money like this, it's being reported to the IRS. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into any other details on that. I'm just saying, they know what you're doing. And you better be prepared to report all your earnings, because they're going to know, hey, wait a second. Mr. Ivey, we see that you kind of moved around $3 million in 2018. Yet, you only reported earnings of $40K. Where'd that money go, bruh? We got your wallet address, so we know you transferred it from here, and we see the transaction went from there to here and there. Where's the money at, bruh? So even though this might be good news for crypto, I ain't using it. I'll go through Jeremy's system. Let me get that sucker up and running. I don't want the government knowing what I'm doing, where I'm moving my money. This also is going to be part of the Fed coin too. So people can exchange their Bitcoins for Fed coins and all that stuff. All right, let me continue. The patent describes a potential 3-part system where the first part would be a customer's account. So that means you got a bank account with Bank of America right now. And the other 2 would be accounts owned by the business running the system. The user would store their chosen cryptocurrency through the customer account. So basically, Bank of America is saying, we're going to have a system where you can store your coins through your bank account. It's tied to your bank account. People are going to run to that because they're going to think it's a safe store. It's backed by the government. You know, Bank of America ain't going to run off with all your money. Or will they? I mean, what happened in 2008? But for the vast majority of people out there that are looking for security, this is what they're going to do. And the government's going to fully back them because it's tracking the money and it's going to be able to tax it. All right, I'm going off on a tangent. Let me continue. The second account, referred to as a float account, would act as a holding area for the cryptocurrency the customer is selling. A holding area, huh? While the third account, also a float account, would contain the equivalent amount of the cryptocurrency the customer is converting their funds to. That third account would then deposit the converted funds back into the original customer account for withdrawal. Why do I need to go through all that? I got a BitPay card. See, my BitPay card, whenever I use it, because it's a Visa, I am not transferring Bitcoin to the seller. It is converting to fiat currency on point of sale. I don't need to go through all this. I don't need Bank of America to do all this. But this is what they're setting up. This is the infrastructure that the average person that don't know nothing is going to need. That's why Coinbase is as large as it is, because most people have, that's all they know. The proposed system would collect data, there you go, from external information sources on cryptocurrency exchange rates and use this data to establish its own optimal rate. What do you mean, establish your own optimal rate? There is no your own. It's what the rate is. You see the game they're playing here? They're going to manipulate the rate and then charge hella fees on you. Hell no. The patent notes This service would be for enterprise-level customers, meaning that if the bank pursues this project, it would be offered to businesses. According to the patent, enterprises may handle a large number of financial transactions on a daily basis. As technology advances, financial transactions involving cryptocurrency have become more common. For some enterprises, it may be desirable to exchange currencies and cryptocurrencies. The proposed system could also evaluate transactions for potential illicit trades, calculating a risk score based on the amount of cryptocurrency being transferred and any other information available, according to the patent. Transactions which look illegal would not be allowed to process. How do they determine what's illegal? You're right, Jeremy. What do they determine illegal? They may say one day, you know what? We don't like Uphold.com, so we're not going to accept any transactions coming through them. We don't like Poloniex. We don't like Bittrex for whatever reason. We're not going to allow any transfers. We don't like blockchain. We don't want to work with the Winklevoss twins. We don't like Exodus. Who's to say? They'll say, well, we're blocking any transactions from this exchange because we have found out that a lot of illegal activity is taking place. Therefore, you will not be able to get your money if you use this exchange. You see what they're doing here? Bank of America has been looking at cryptocurrencies for years, filing another patent in 2014 to create a cryptocurrency-powered wire transfer system. That system would allow users to transfer funds by converting the sender's local currency into a cryptocurrency, sending it to a foreign exchange, and then converting it to the destination's country's currency. We don't need you to do that. Hell, my BitConnect's coming out with a BitConnect card that's already doing that. BitPay does that. But they're getting in on the game, and they've already have a huge customer base. Chase Bank will be next. They're the largest. All right. The final article, since it just popped up, and this is important to pay attention to, Wall Street banks revolt against Bitcoin futures contracts launch. What are the haters scared of? Battery's about to die on me. Let me plug in my phone. Give me a second here. Phone's been blowing up. All right. So let's go over this article right here. Wall Street banks are hitting back at the upcoming Bitcoin futures contracts, claiming that the finance system isn't ready with continuing rising prices. That's their argument. They say it's not ready. So CME seems to think so. On the 10th of December, Chicago-based exchange CBOE Global Markets will be launching their Bitcoin futures, followed by fellow Chicago company CME Group on the 18th. This was after both had received approval from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission last week. Keen to follow in their footsteps is NASDAQ, which is reportedly planning to launch Bitcoin futures contracts in the first half of 2018. However, it's seeking to position its product different to both the Chicago exchanges. Taking its cue from its U.S. rivals and looking to get in on the frenzied rush of Bitcoin trading is the Tokyo Financial Exchange. That's interesting. On Wednesday, it was reported that the Japanese exchange, I missed that news, is set to support Bitcoin as a financial product by launching its own Bitcoin derivatives futures product. You see what's happening? It's like a domino effect. When the moment CME made their announcement, do you think their competitors are just going to sit back and watch? No, if they want to remain relevant, if they want to support their customers, they got to get in on the game as well. It's a domino effect now. Yet, despite these positive moves, which would enable keen investors to trade Bitcoin as an asset via a regulated market, major brokers have taken to criticizing the move. All right, here comes the FUD. Here it comes. You ready? See, it's this type of information that the haters like to send me articles on. Did you see what this company said about Bitcoin? They said it's criminal activity. I'm like, you found one article out of 18 today that was positive about Bitcoin. You found the one negative one, and that's what you want to send to me. And then you want me to defend. Get out of here with that. All right, in a draft letter from the Futures Industry Association, the industry lobby group whose members include banks such as JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, to the CFTC, the implementation of Bitcoin futures contracts did not allow for proper public transparency and input, reports the Financial Times, who have reportedly seen the draft. It is expected to be sent to the CFTC today. Both the CME Group and CBOE have agreed to function under a self-certified regime for their contracts. However, this means that regulators will have little time to review them. According to the letter, a self-certification regime for these novel products does not align with the potential risks that underlie their trading and should be reviewed. Oh, they're using semantics and politics here to get their way. According to the FIA, its members have reservations about the reliability of prices underlying the Bitcoin futures contracts. This month alone, the value of Bitcoin is up more than 50%. However, its price can fall just as quickly too. And you look at the 9-year history of Bitcoin. Every time the price has fallen, well, there's one time in history where it's fallen and it stayed lower than it was for a couple years. But after that, it rolls right back higher. It's always been higher than before. So they can't use this argument. They're thinking like the stock market. It's not the stock market. I remember the first time, when did this happen? Was it the early 90s when the stock market reached 10,000 points for the very first time ever? Since the history of the stock market. It took like 100 years to get there, and all of a sudden it only took, 7-8 years to get to 20,000? I didn't see them screaming and complaining then. Yeah, the stock market could crash. It did in 2008. Well, but you worried about what Bitcoin is going to do. Bitcoin right now is only a 400 and something billion, or the cryptocurrency market, $400 billion market. We're talking about trillions of dollars in there. Bitcoin ain't going to have an impact on NASDAQ. This is a scare tactic they're using. The only reason what they're saying can be valid, the only thing is if they are admitting that they believe Bitcoin is going to be in the trillions of dollars. That's the only way their argument has validity. So in a way, while they're sitting here trying to block and bash Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, they're also validating it at the same time by the sheer fact that they're mentioning it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting us know that this thing is scaring you so much. I'm going to go ahead and buy more. So that's the articles for today. If any major news happens, which I suspect it will, I will do a late night crypto, but it's going to be very late because today we're celebrating my wife's birthday. Today's my wife's birthday, so we're celebrating that today. We're going out to dinner and all that, so there won't be any presentation tonight. There might be a late night crypto talk, but it'll be real late, meaning maybe 10 or 11 o'clock West Coast time. So those of you on the East Coast that might still be up, 1, 2 in the morning, you can plug in and listen. It just depends on the news today, how it goes. But there is a Facebook Live that I want to do. And it's going to be addressed to the MLM industry. Because they're in panic mode right now. And it's lack of understanding. So I'm going to actually speak their language. Since they don't understand crypto and they don't want to learn, I'm going to speak in language that they do understand. Because I come from that world. And the topic's going to be the difference between leveraging other people and leveraging money. See, they understand that topic. Why? Because their argument is always, people who work a 9-to-5 job, you're trading time for money. If you're making your money on 100% of your efforts, what happens if you get sick? What happens if you get fired? What happens if you can no longer work? Your income goes away. But if you're leveraging other people, if you've got 100 people working for you, and 10% of them don't go to work that day, you still have 90% income come in. So you want to leverage other people. That's the MLM way. But the wealth building way, where people are, not only do they become millionaires, but they stay millionaires, is they leverage their money. They're not leveraging time. They're not leveraging other people. They're leveraging money. Money doesn't sleep. Money doesn't talk back. Money doesn't quit. Money doesn't complain. Money doesn't ask 101 dumbass questions. Money doesn't take a vacation. Money doesn't work on the money works on the weekend. Money is going to work while you sleep. You give it instructions, it does what you tell it to do. MLM people don't understand that. So, the next Facebook Live I do, maybe tomorrow morning, it depends on the news, I'm going to speak directly to the MLM people. I want to rub them on the back. I want to let them know it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Don't be scared. The one thing that's constant in life is change. You either adapt or you die. The MLM industry has changed, has had 3 major changes in its history. 3. It survived. They were screaming bloody murder when MLM companies came up in the travel industry and the long distance industry, the phone industry. They were screaming bloody murder then. It's okay. So we will talk on that a little later. But I am sitting back with my popcorn watching these guys lose their food over what's going on in Bitcoin. It is hilarious. And they think they're talking smart. That's what's funny. I'm like, do you know how ignorant you sound right now? They don't even realize it. All right, guys, thank you for listening. Enjoy your day. This is Thursday. We got one more day left for what people will say is, thank God it's Friday. This is interesting times we live in. Who knows what's going to happen in the next 24 hours in the Bitcoin space. All you need to do is get yourself positioned one way or another. Find somebody that you trust. Find somebody in the space. Find out how they're making their money. Yeah, you can replay this. As soon as I'm done, it's going to be on my Facebook link, on my Facebook page. So you can listen to this again from the beginning and share it with whoever you want. But find somebody who's making money in this space and find out what they're doing. There's no reason why people are not making money right now. Me, I don't buy Bitcoin. I earn Bitcoin. And then I invest with Bitcoin and I flip the Bitcoin. But I don't share publicly what I do because I want to be respectful to other people out there that's listening and they got their own programs that they're working. So get back with whoever you want, send them a private message and say, hey, show me how to get in the game. Here's some free advice. The first thing you need to do is pull up your Netflix and watch Banking on Bitcoin documentary. Banking on Bitcoin. The second thing you do, go to YouTube. You want to pull up a gentleman by the name of Doug Casey, because you need to understand money and our current financial system and why Bitcoin is going to be so relevant and important. Pull up Doug Casey. Watch any of his videos, especially the latest one, where he talks about the Fed coin. After that, just go on YouTube and start Googling or searching for Bitcoin history or blockchain technology, documentaries, and learn about the blockchain. Oh my goodness, a huge landslide. Oh no, that's 2005. See, I'm in California right now. We got a whole bunch of fires hitting us right now. So anybody in LA, we had the Sonoma last month. Now we're looking at Ventura County. Guys, personally, I don't think that this is a coincidence. That's a whole nother topic. So pray for all the fire victims out there, because this is bad out here. Nothing worse than losing your home, losing everything. And again, I want to say happy birthday to my wife. I'm gonna go spoil her right now. But make that Bitcoin, make that crypto. Get in the game. People became millionaires overnight last night. How many of you will become Bitcoin millionaires next year? I will be. All right, have a good day, everybody. You can listen to the recording afterwards. Bye-bye.